The display of the iPhone 15 Pro Max could be far brighter than its main rival, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This is not a cap. The interesting part about this situation is that the displays are made by Samsung Display.
Interesting.
In any case, come with us as we elaborate on this subject more. Brighter display. You may not have heard, but the costlier iPhone 15 models will employ a screen manufactured by Samsung Display that is 2 generations newer than the one found on the new Galaxy S23 Ultra. More speculation has emerged about the nits of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Shrimp Apple Pro shared a tweet from a leaker named Connor that talked about Samsung's display panels, stating, "Samsung's next-gen panels reach up to 2,500 nits." However, analyst Ross Young claims to know nothing at all about this shift. Both the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max can reach maximum brightness levels of 1,000 nits under normal conditions.
Oh, that's bright.
As much as 1,600 nits of brightness are possible while watching HDR material. The screen's maximum brightness is 2,000 nits, allowing it to be seen in direct sunlight. There is a high likelihood that the 2,500 nits peak brightness advertised for the iPhone 15 Pro Max is limited to use in bright outdoor environments. For the purpose of battery life and display endurance, typical use scenarios will keep brightness at 1,000 nits. This isn't all that the iPhone 15 Pro Max has in store for you. However, in this article, we'll go over 5 more things you can look forward to. Also, please subscribe to our channel to get all the necessary information on smartphones. Here are some features coming to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. No Touch ID. While there have been persistent speculations that Apple is considering reintroducing Touch ID to its flagship iPhones through an under-display solution, it is likely that the iPhone 15 models will continue to utilize Face ID instead.
Disappointing.
Apple's under-the-display Face ID functionality is still in development and is expected to debut in 2025. Instead, the iPhone 15 in 2023 will keep using the Dynamic Island, which Apple is predicted to roll out to all models beyond the Pro versions. USB-C. To conform to new laws enacted in Europe, Apple is replacing the Lightning connector on the iPhone 15 with a USB-C port. In order to comply with European Union laws,
obviously we'll have to comply. We have no choice, as we do around the world, to comply to local laws.
Apple will need to either implement a global design change or create a new line of iPhones with USB-C connections just for the European market. Apple is switching to a USB-C connector for charging instead of a Lightning port.
The charger, I need a charger quick!
As a result, Apple users will soon only have to remember one charging standard to keep their Mac, iPhone, and iPad powered. Soon, we'll tell you more about Apple's efforts to ensure that USB-C provides better data transmission rates. Qualcomm modem chips. With the introduction of 5G iPhones, Apple has relied on Qualcomm's modem processors. This will continue with the 2023 range of iPhone 15. It was speculated that Apple might begin manufacturing its modem chips in 202. However, that won't happen until at least 2024. Each iPhone 15 and 15 Pro will have the same Qualcomm modem chip, likely the X70. The X70 processor from Qualcomm has enhanced artificial intelligence for quicker processing, wider coverage, stronger signals, less latency, and up to 60% less battery consumption. Periscope zoom lens. There have been reports that Apple may include a periscope zoom lens in the iPhone 15, although this feature will only be available on the iPhone 15 Pro Max.
That slimy bugger.
The iPhone 15 Pro will have access to a regular zoom lens, while the iPhone 15 will only have access to wide and ultra-wide lenses. As compared to the optical zoom of a regular telephoto lens, periscope lens technology can provide a magnification factor of up to 10x. The current maximum zoom on the Pro variants of the iPhone is 3x, but a periscope lens may greatly increase that number. Apple's competitor Samsung has released smartphones with periscope lens technology, allowing for 4x 10x optical zoom and up to 100x digital zoom, making it capable of capturing finer details than Apple's iPhones. Ming-Chi Kuo, an Apple analyst, predicts that the company will adopt the periscope lens, which will allow for 6x optical magnification. Transfer speeds. The basic iPhone 15 models will continue to utilize USB 2.0 rates, the same as Lightning, while the Pro versions with USB-C connectors will allow higher speed data transfers. It has been confirmed that the iPhone 15 Pro versions will at least be able to connect through USB 3.2 or Thunderbolt 3. The update would allow the iPhone 15 Pro to transport video and other file formats at substantially faster rates.
That's very convenient.
As opposed to USB 3.2's maximum transfer speed of 20 gigabytes per second, USB 2.0's maximum transfer speed of 480 megabytes per second is severely restricted. Data transfer rates of up to 40 gigabytes per second are possible if Apple includes Thunderbolt 3 compatibility in the iPhone 15 Pro variants. As the vast majority of Android phones presently only support USB 2.0, the iPhone 15 Pro would stand out as the only iOS device capable of faster data transfers.
Pretty cool.
Some of you may not care about the speed at which files are transferred to and from your phones, and may be okay with USB 2.0. Yet this is fantastic for certain people. For example, the increased speed will be a great selling factor for professionals that film 4K footage in ProRes. Most of these features will be exclusive to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and why not? Apple wants the Pro model to distinguish it from the basic model. Also, the iPhone 15 Pro Max will have the iOS 17, which should not be a surprise. However, the iOS 17 is purported to have a few features. Nonetheless, these few features are exciting.
I cannot wait.
If you want to know more, simply watch our next video. Thanks for joining us today and see you there.